Hello everyone, and look at that, I'm sitting at a new angle. And why? Because I have exciting news to bring to you. And I have a presentation that I'll be playing as I talk to you guys today to fully convey what I want to talk to you guys about today. So, as we begin, start recording. Yes, share. So, Neuralink. And you're probably wondering, what is Neuralink? Well, before I get into my science and my medical stuff, let me tell you, all this week is Ray J, the Kardashians, and oh my God, it is so great. Not great to see them fall. Okay, well, maybe to see them fall, but it is just to see. I didn't expect this to come so soon. I thought maybe I had a few years to prepare for this, but we're upon their reckoning. So I just want to talk about that a little bit. You'll hear my thoughts more in the brown round. So let's begin with Neuralink. And my science topic today does not have to deal with space, but it still is in the realms of physics. And today we're going to talk more specifically about technology and how technology is relating to the body and medical advancements through technology. And as you see in the background right here, this symbolizes a neuron, and that's what we're going to be talking about today. And a neuron symbolizes electrical impulses in your brain, and as you see right here, these little branches, these are what they call the synapses, and and as you see, like right here as an example, you see these two neurons, they're being connected through these two synapses, and this is where they branch off and how the two neurons are able to communicate. They're not exactly touching each other, but they're able to be this close to each other, and they have little electrical impulses shooting off of them that connects them symbolically, almost like trees a little bit, because it looks like branches. And if you think about it, the network system of trees, like the roots underneath, kind of looks like this. And because I love astronomy, this kind of looks like galaxies and what space looks like. So on to the next page. So Neuralink and Elon Musk. So the company was founded in July of 2016, and as you know, Elon Musk, he owns Apple, which is a phone device, as well as computers, and as well as you can have an Apple TV subscription service, as well as Elon Musk has contributed to making Teslas, the self-driving car, the hot topics. Another thing that Elon Musk makes, he contributes to SpaceX, which is space exploration. So he's really into space and technology and advancing science and what we know, what science can do through technology in the future. So through Neuralink, it's his company that deals with putting a brain implant chip in your head. That's what BCI stands for, brain computer interface. And what it is that he inserts a chip into your brain, and this chip allows you to use your brain functions again that you couldn't have otherwise because you're disabled, maybe paralyzed, or maybe you have like a synthetic arm. You're able to use these functions again, and it has a brain computer, your brain computer, the chip, and they're interacting together, and it's on an interface, so therefore it's going to be like on a computer. For example, as I'm using this as an interface, or what I'm recording on right now is a camera, that's an interface. So it's anything that you're able to interact with. And what Elon Musk is now doing, as I said, he's super into technology and space. And what he's now moving into is what can he do with his technology and his advancements that he thinks with technology, and how that can progress the medical field and how we can help disabled people regain their disabilities, regain the abilities they lost due to their disabilities. My bad. So, how does Neuralink work? As you see in this image right here, as I was saying, you see right here, we have a slight incision, as you see, and this incision is where they're going to put a slight cut in your head. This is an invasive process, which means that they're going to put something into your body. So like, as you know, a foreign object, which is this computer chip, and this chip is going to be placed inside your head through an incision. And as you see right here, they're going to cut out a small section to implant it. This is what they're doing. They're implanting a chip inside of you. And this chip is going to be inserted inside of this. And then they're going to cover up the skin back, because you know. But it has to stick out, as you see right here, the symbol, the Neuralink connection has to stand out, because as you see in the next symbol right here, the Utah array, it's going to be connected through wires. So they're going to put wires connected to this Neuralink. This is in like the very early processes. There's going to be different ways they can do this, but right now they're working on making it wireless through Bluetooth eventually. But currently, right now, it's only being able to actually, for what they're doing with humans, it currently only works through wires. But monkeys and pigs, as I will show in some examples right here.
The beeps you're hearing are real-time signals from the Neuralink in Gertrude's head. So this Neuralink connects to neurons that are in her snout. So whenever she snuffles around and touches something with her snout, that sends out neural spikes, which are detected here. And so on the screen, you can see each of the spikes from the thousands.
We calibrate the decoder by recording neural activity as Pager uses the joystick to move a cursor to targets presented on the screen. As he's playing this game, we're wirelessly streaming, in real time, the firing rates from thousands of neurons to a computer. Using these data, we calibrate the decoder by mathematically modeling the relationship between patterns of neural activity and the different joystick movements they produce. After only a few minutes of calibration, we can use the output from the decoder to move the cursor instead of the joystick. Pager still moves the joystick out of habit, but as you can see, it's unplugged. He's controlling the cursor entirely with decoded neural activity.
As you saw through the pig and the monkey, there was no wires attached to them, and you saw the monkey actually controlling the ping pong with his brain. As this went up, he was thinking, okay, I want this to go down. It was just like following his motions without having to do a control or joystick. And that's what they're working on. But currently, because humans are so much more massive and we have so much more neurons in our brains that requires more complex connections, they need to put these wires in the head currently to allow the machine to hook up and it connects to it. That's why it's a wire. As if, for example, you're charging your computer, that's how you're going to be like hooked up in a wire, and then your brain is going to send electrical charges through the wire into the machine, and then that's going to control the machine. Almost like a mouse, except your brain is the mouse and the mouse is connected to the computer. So this is great because, let's say for an example, you have a robotic arm. This is another way that you can have a robotic arm and control it and be normal or natural again, because it's just as natural. I didn't have to, well, of course I had to think to move my arm just now, but with like a robotic arm, it could be like a delay, like not right, and it could, because it's not lining up correctly because it's not connected to the brain. So the brain has a delay or a disconnect to the arm, and that I'm using an example. But with this Neuralink, it's going to be a direct contact, so it's going to be more accurate and more precise. And this will be able to be more natural, and you just feel like you have your arm back again. For example, having faint joints, you know, as they say, if somebody lost a leg, for example, I'll choose a different body part, and they say that they feel like they still have their leg there even though it's not there. That's because their brain still thinks that the leg is there, and it's sending impulses to move a leg that's not there. So those impulses will now be real if you had a robotic leg, and you will actually be able to move the leg. So this is what Neuralink is working on currently, but it's through wires, as I was saying, but they will move it to wireless and Bluetooth soon as technology develops. So you're probably wondering, I keep calling this electrical pulses, but when you think of electrical pulses, you think of electronics, like a computer or a cell phone. Well, yes, our brain is made of electrical pulses, and these electrical pulses, as you see right here, this is how information is sent. This is another picture of what a neuron looks like. These are all different examples of neurons that I'm showing you. And this neuron specifically, as this is the house, and you might not see them more specifically, but there are supposed to be synapses or gaps between them, and these electrical pulses will be jumping between those gaps, as I was saying. But they have tails or bodies or branches, as you can call them, that they have electrical pulses traveling through them. And that's what gives them motion, that's what gives them energy. And that's why humans need to fuel their body with energy, because your body breaks down the nutrients you fuel it with, like a battery. How good is the battery? How strong something performs is only as much of what you feed it. So if you have like a bigger battery, you're going to be able to do more things because you have more energy. That's what it's like with the body. The more healthier things you give your body, in a sense, you're able to have a lot more healthier nutrients that your body is able to utilize for potential and use for bodily functions, such as, I'm sorry, did I explain that neurons were in the brain? I mean, I know I am talking about the inserting a chip in the brain, but these neurons specifically are in the brain, and this activates all the functions that the body takes, like all the forms, as I was talking about, and this signal is felt through the spine. All these neurons sends messages down the spine, and the spine sends your nervous system, which is another type of way chemicals are sent, except this time it's different types of chemicals. Instead of it being electrical, it's chemical. So therefore, this is how there's a transition. This is how your body breaks down chemicals. And then these chemicals through the spine is like a transporter converter, in a sense. These chemicals are now converted into fuel to make electricity that goes up your brain up your spine into your brain, where your brain is able to signify these electrons and electrical pulses and information and send it back down the spine. And the spine, as I said, like reconverts it back into chemical energy. And it's just like, okay, we need to go, let's say, to the kidneys and tell the kidneys, hey, you need to digest this waste and clean out the body and waste products. And the kidney's like, okay, I'll start breaking down the waste products in the body. These are what these chemical impulses that the body uses to function on an everyday basis. And this electrical pulse is as I was saying on the next page, is like an electrical circuit. As you see, when the brain is fully functioned, here's another picture of neurons. These are the arms, branches that the electrical pulses are traveling, and these thinner parts, I guess, would represent, because as you see, it's a bit thicker right here now, it's thin right here. As they're going out farther, those must be the synapses or the gaps, because as I said, there's a gap between these, but they're not symbolizing them right here, so they're just showing them as a continuous function for each. They're showing them as a continuous structure. So that way you're able to see them and how they're interconnected and that they're not all just disconnected, floating aimlessly. That they're all intertwined like a ball of yarn almost, if you think about it. So this is how the brain works with the chip. So as we were talking about, you don't have a phantom body part. Let's go back to the leg. You think your leg is there, so therefore your brain is signaling something. The battery is working, but this light isn't on, so therefore it's switched off because the circuit is open. And if the circuit is open, it is not able, see, as you see right here, the circuit is closed and it's a complete circuit, therefore it's able to flow and function properly. But if there's a closed circuit or something's broken or it's not function or there's a damaged nerve or a damaged neuron or it can't be regenerated if you lost these neurons, it's basically dead and it can't function properly like it used to. But it just needs something to switch it back on. It's just off. So this chip is implanted in your brain and it is able to fill this gap right here. And it's just like, this is where I can send my message and my message can be received. And now it's complete and you're able to fully perform a function. Before the chip was implanted, you had a robotic leg, you're moving it, but your brain is having to think about it and maybe you have to like move it with, I'm not really positive how these, well, it just works normally. They just like move and walk normally with robotic legs, but they're trying to work on, this is taking it to like the next level where we're actually putting circuits into the body and we're like almost like humanoid robots. This is where we're almost like, if you think about it, cyborgs in a sense. And we're able to do this because our body runs on electricity. And just a fun fact, when you think about water, water conducts electricity. That's why being near water during a thunderstorm can be dangerous, because water will electrocute you in a storm, because your body is made of water, but you're also made of chemical charges. So if there's an off balance and you're over energized with electricity, your circuits can end up being broken, destroyed, and might not. That's why you can easily die, because it's like being burnt and fried, and you can't unfry an egg. So that's the problem with electricity and water, and why it's also a problem if you know how little kids can be like stick a fork in a socket, like a open socket. It's a metal. Your you have water in your body, and you're also sending chemical impulses. So these two, it's like putting two wires together. Now we have not one source of electricity, but two different sources of electricity interacting together, and it's able to strengthen, and that's how this brain chip is able to work with the human body, because now the human body is able to put the message forth that they want to, I don't know, for example, like Neuralink is talking about sending a message, like you can text with your brain. You don't even have to hold the phone. But of course, this is only for people that are paraplegic or paralyzed or people with disabilities. But you also have to think about the implications that it can have, because I have been talking about the metaverse and how the metaverse is talking about getting you more immersed in a metaphysical virtual reality. So if you're able to put a chip in my brain, and if you're able to put a chip in my brain, you can make me feel sensations that I maybe not otherwise wouldn't have felt. So maybe if you like hook that up to an Oculus, maybe you can actually make your brain think you're there, and your body will feel the vibrations. Like, let's say if there was like an earthquake, you will literally feel your body shaking, and your body will like react in a sense, because it feels like it's there, because you're sending off electrical impulses. If you're frightened, the Oculus will pick that up because your brain is connected to a computer. So that can also be scary in a sense if you think. So lastly, this is why this has brought my attention, because in August of 2022, in 2022, which Elon Musk, if this was not on purpose, because I know you own SpaceX and you're into Tesla, so I'm not sure if you're into numerology, but the 8th month on the 22nd day in 2022, that is in a bunch of twos, and on the 8th month, which symbolizes infinity. I don't know what. So you're really smart in talking about what you wanting to bring forth with your Neuralink and how you're going to bring technology to medicine. And he said that he wants to bring an update on August 31st of this year about what's going on with Neuralink. Sorry. And and to break down the name, Nora as in like a neuron, and link as in linking the neuron through a computer. That's why he named it Neuralink. Or at least that's my intuitive way of why I think they named it that. I would have to look that up. So, that's all I have to say about Elon Musk and his tech-savvy self and what he is doing with medicine. Because I used to be a biology major, but now I'm a physics major who is interested in astrophysics and space. But don't worry, I still got my eyes on the medical field. I intend to study medical astrology. I have a book that talks about how astrology relates to the medical body. But that's a topic for another day. Or for a channel whenever, or like a page. Hey, let me know. Do you want me to teach you astrology? Is there anything you want to know about astrology? I could talk about what I know. So that's all I have to say for now. And it was great talking to you about Elon Musk and Neuralink and how technology... Oh, actually, real quick. He does not... I'm not sure because he hasn't given an update about it yet, because he has been pretty quiet in the last year since they've talked about this. But there is a company that has gotten patent. I forget, was it Citron? I'll put their name right here. And because they were working out of Australia, they were able to work more freely with putting things in the human brain. And so they were able to test it out on human experiments, and now they've just gotten approved in the America to practice their techniques here. So that will be good for Elon Musk, because even though he didn't get the patent first by like the FDA to physically work with this, with human experiments, which is why he was working on animals, he does now have a go, because if one company has it, then it's free for all companies, because why are you only going to have one company allowed to do something? So that's all I would like to talk about, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you in a month to talk again about Elon Musk, because I will talk about this because it's right up my alley. So with that being said, I will see you guys on the brown round, and I hope you enjoy this wherever you are when you view this, whether it's the day, night, weedy hours of the morning, in the noon, I don't know. It's the world. It's continuously spinning. So I hope you enjoy your time and your day /night, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye!